and Lisa sat down on the box that had the cake in it, and it was horrendous. I screamed because the box that she had sat on had the cake in it, and so part of the cake was ruined. So I screamed and I called my mom, and all I remember was I got spanked. I was 6 years old and I got spanked, whereas Lisa and Rena didn't get in trouble at all. But my mom said that it was my fault because this was my house and we weren't supposed to be in the study anyway, and the cake was ruined. This big, beautiful cake was ruined. So I kind of thought, when I was, little, I felt that was kind of an injustice for me because it wasn't my fault. All I did was go and play hide and seek. And I remember my dad telling the visitors the next day when the cake was out about how the kids were playing, and that's why half of the cake was ruined. But that's something I'm never going to forget, kind of like one of my injustices. But I look back now and I laugh, and I'm sure my mom laughs too.
Okay, so I want to talk about the purpose and the main points. The purpose was to a reflection of a childhood memory. The main point would be the reason how the cake got messed up. Okay, so we're going to retell the story by chunks.
My name is Pam Chrysostomo, and I'm going to share a personal experience that I've had. I'm the oldest of 4 children, and I'm 19 years old, and I have a sister whose name is Phyllis, and she's 13, and my next sister's name is Patty, and she's 12, and I have a little brother whose name is Noel, and he's 8, and so there's 10 and a half years between me and Noel.
My name is Patty Castano, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a story in regards to my sister. And I'm actually the oldest of 4 children. There is a 10 and a half year age difference between me and Norm. Norm is the baby. And then there's me, and it's my sister Phyllis. And then I have another sister.
I was an only child for a very long time, and I was supposed to be an only child until I remember one Christmas where I asked my mother, I told my mother that instead of asking Santa for toys this Christmas, I wanted a baby sister instead.
So at this particular point in my life, I had no brothers or sisters. And I really wanted some siblings, so I asked my mother for a sister, for instead of other material possessions for that wonderful holiday in December. I wanted someone that was under me.
So, a couple months later, I had a baby sister, and her name was Phyllis, and so she was born in April. And in June of 1984, we were preparing for a big baptismal party for Phyllis, and she was going to get baptized at St. Charles Church, and we were going to have a lot of visitors over, probably about...
So, 1984, my sister was born, and she was born in the month of April. And so we wanted to give her my parents gave her a party. One of our rituals, our religious rituals, is baptism. So we wanted to celebrate her life into this religious, via this religious culture. And there will be a crowd of people attending.
I don't know, maybe over about maybe 300 visitors. And in the process, my mom had a friend whose husband made cakes, and so my mom's friend's husband made a cake that was about 20 by 30. So it was a huge cake. It was decorated really nicely, and there was a stork on it, and there was a baby in the stork's beak, and I just remember how great a cake it was, and so.
I saw this really awesome cake that was created by my mom's friend, um, a female. Her spouse makes cakes, and the cake was huge, and it had the typical stork that you see when a baby is born. The baby was inside. The baby was uh, located in the mouth of that bird.
So my mom wanted to hide the cake, so like the visitors who were going to spend the night coming later that evening wouldn't see the cake. Kind of, so she would keep it as a surprise for everybody else. And so she and her friend put the cake in a big box, and then we put it in our study. So later that evening, my sister Phyllis's godmother came, and along with her godmother, she brought her husband and her two girls. And I was.
So, my mama wanted to place the cake out of sight because she didn't want the crowd that was coming that night um, to see this wonderful creation. And so that's what she did. Her and her friend put it in in one of our rooms, the place where we have books and desks. In It's called the study room. And so my sister Phyllis has not her biological parents, but her godparents, and her godparents had two children, two girl children.
Excited because I was pretty much a very lonely child, and so having playmates was like a big deal for me, and I was really excited that I had a new sister named Phyllis who was born. And so one of the girls, her name was Lisa, and she was my age, and her sister Rena was a year younger than both of us. So we decided that we'd play a game of hide and seek.
I was ecstatic because being the only child was lonesome, and I always wanted someone to participate in games with. And so there was Lisa and Raina. These were the two children of my sister godparents. And so we decided to engage in a game called hide and go seek.
So we were playing hide and seek, and we were laughing, we were having fun, as all little kids do. And at one point, Lisa was it, and Rena and I hid like in the living room, and we were found very easily. And so I guess after 3 or 4 rounds, it was Lisa's turn to be it. And so Lisa was it, and it just wasn't working right. We were having fun, we were having a lot of fun, but people were finding each other too easily. So I took Lisa and I hid in the study room because I figured that would be the best place to hide. And so Lisa and I went to the study, and
So as we were playing rounds of hide and go seek, we decided to change and make it more challenging because we were finding each other rather quickly, especially when Lisa was the person to find us. And so Raina and myself disappeared into the room where where there were books and desks.
Ran really quickly, and I remember the door slamming really loud, and it was a wonder that Rena didn't find us just by the sound of the door slamming. And so we were really tired. I remember like laughing really hard, and Lisa decided to sit down. And Lisa sat down on the box that had the cake in it, and it was horrendous. I screamed because the box that she had sat on had the cake in it, and so part of the cake was ruined. So I screamed.
That was Lisa and myself running into the room, not Raina and myself. So Lisa and myself, while running into the room, we loudly closed the door. And we were giggling profusely, continuously. No, it was a wonder that Raina did not locate us quickly.
Screamed, and I called my mom, and all I remember was I got spanked. I was 6 years old and I got spanked, whereas Lisa and Rena didn't get in trouble at all. But my mom said that it was my fault because this was my house and we weren't supposed to be in the study anyway, and the cake was ruined. This big, beautiful cake was ruined. So I kind of thought, when I was, little, I felt that was kind of an injustice for me, because.
So while laughing profusely, Lisa actually sat on the box with the creative, decorative cake, and I screamed for my mom, and my mom was extremely upset. She actually, well, not spanked, but she whipped me. And as I look back, I found that not fair, but my mom explained to me that I was the hostess of the house. So I would get in trouble. I mean, it was my responsibility to make sure that we were playing safely.
It wasn't my fault. All I did was go and play hide and seek. And I remember my dad telling the visitors the next day when the cake was out about how the kids were playing, and that's why half of the cake was ruined. But that's something I'm never going to forget, kind of like one of my injustices. But I look back now and I laugh, and I'm sure my mom laughs too.
So my dad told the visitors the reason why the cake was ruined, and that was because the game that we were playing. And we're just, as I reflect back, I laugh, even though I didn't feel I should have gotten the whooping. And I think my mom, reflecting too in this memory, she kind of giggles herself.